Hey guys, Danny Johnson here, and I just want to talk a little bit about the T56 Magnum for the 0304 Cobra and New Edge. There's a few things that you're going to want to know if you're going to be doing that swap. So I just want to talk about a few of those things. The first thing to know is that the input shaft on the transmission is 26 spline. So you're going to want to make sure that you have a 26 spline clutch that's going to match that. So that refers to the amount of teeth that's on the input shaft. So as a reminder, the 0304 Cobras come with a 10 spline input shaft, as you see here, and a 10 spline clutch. So you're going to have to make sure both of those match. We had upgraded the input shaft on our stock T56 to a 26 spline, but due to the parts that are available on the market, I just was not happy with the quality that they had. So check the video description. I have full install video on that and reviews and some other things too. So check the video description for that playlist. So the 26 spline input shaft is a great upgrade. You can run some better twin disc clutches for that. So it's something that you would want anyway, and it's good that the Magnum comes that way with the 26 spline input shaft. So again, you have to make sure that your clutch is also 26 spline or the two won't match up. So a full video on that as well for the RXT and how it goes together. But just like the input shaft, the output shaft is also different. So the output shaft is a 27 spline on the stock T56. It goes up to a 31 spline on the T56 Magnum. So you will need at least the different yoke that goes into that. And being that the transmission is a little bit longer than the stock one, you also need to shorten your drive shaft. So rather than do all that work and to retain the stock factory parts, I actually just went with the aftermarket drive shaft from the drive shaft shop. That way, it just went right in. It was the perfect length. No questions about balancing it or anything like that, because I didn't want to get into cutting and re-welding and using different U-joints and all kinds of stuff. So there are a lot of variables. This is the drive shaft if you still have the 0304 Cobra with the independent rear suspension, FDSH8-MAG-F, item 610100. So you want to make sure that you have the right one. With all the other modifications, if you went to a solid rear axle, you need to investigate those lengths and everything like that. So just keep in mind that these two look similar, but they are not interchangeable for the Magnum. You can see the difference here in the length where one's going to end before the other one, and that's because with the T56 Magnum being longer, the drive shaft can't go that far, or when you put the car back on the ground, you're going to be smacking into the transmission because it's too short. So here's a look again at the spline count coming on the drive shaft side. So again, 27 spline for the factory and 31 for the T56 Magnum. Okay, looking from the side, the T56 versus the T56 Magnum. You can already see the Magnum's a little bit longer. Look at that tail shaft. Okay, the shifter, you're gonna have the 4-bolt. So you'll see the 6-bolt on that. That's the dead giveaway that which transmission you're looking at. The center section appears to be pretty much the same. What you'll notice is the stock 0304 Cobra, they shaved this down here and a little bit here in order to have no clearance problems. On the Magnum, it's the same casting. If you can see there side by side, they just have not shaved it down any. Okay, so you have it sticking out here. So according to this, where these two are cut off, it would be basically here straight down on both of those. And this one even cut into here, which I don't think is going to be necessary. Here's a look at the stock transmission in the car, so you can see where it's been cut down, and there's plenty of room. But the transmission may rock side to side just a little bit with the engine moving, so you do want to have more clearance than not enough. But I think it was definitely cut a lot farther than it needed to be. But just to be safe, we wanted to also trim this down a little bit. We didn't want to have any interference, of course. So we just pulled out the angle grinder and put a really nice, it was more of a polishing wheel. It wasn't really, it was a cutting wheel, but it wasn't a very hard one. And we just kind of went at it slow and nice and easy and just kind of ground it down until I felt it was nice and smooth and not going to interfere. And in the end, we had plenty of room when it was done. It almost looked like it wasn't necessary, but this was highly recommended from other people who've had it hit. So we just wanted to make sure that it was right. So anyway, that's the finished product here, what ours looked like grinding it down. It is a very soft aluminum. You can even do it by hand with a file, but it turned out really good. So start slow, and if you don't get enough, you can get under there and finish it. It is accessible. Here's what it looks like under the car now. So you can see nice little parallel job there. Plenty of clearance. I haven't had any issues with it. But you can see where we definitely did have to cut that down a little bit on both the front ones there. So this is another under look here. This view doesn't look quite as good. It almost looks closer, but there's actually plenty of room. Now, something I do need to mention as well, make sure you're getting the right transmission. TUET 11010 is the 266 first gear. They sent me the wrong one the first time. I have videos on all that too in the video description. But that's very important as well, that you're not getting one for a GM. Okay, the next is the pivot ball stud, as well as possibly notching the clutch fork. So there's a few things about the way that this transmission is going to fit. Now with the twin disc clutch as it is, you already have to change the pivot ball stud length. On my stock T56, I was able to just screw in the McLeod adjustable pivot ball stud. Just put it all the way in, and it was basically a perfect fit. It took me down about 5 millimeters of space. Now, with the T56 Magnum, for me, that still wasn't enough.
Okay, so simply put, deeper clutch makes it so that that throwout bearing has to go back farther. And with that said, it has to be with the shortening of the pivot ball stud and or notching that clutch fork to get that throwout bearing back. So you're not already smacking your throwout bearing against the diaphragm fingers.
When you look at these two transmissions head to head, there is quite a difference in the webbing and how far things come out. So the clearance isn't exactly identical. So just keep that in mind.
It seemed like we had room, but once we tightened down all the case bolts, we don't have any more movement on our clutch fork. Still a little bit too tight. Okay, that gap is the difference between this being loose enough to get by or too tight. So we just need that much more spacing. It's not a lot.
Now I may have been able to take that pivot ball stud and cut it down and mess with it some more and make it as the only thing to work, but it worked perfectly. I was really close, so that's all I need to do is notch that clutch fork. So the reason I really didn't mess with the pivot ball stud more is, one, I didn't want to mess up and jack up the threads for shortening it anymore and cutting it up, and it can also affect the way that it's going to swing if it's too short. And so the next thing we're going to look at is our swing. Since we have shortened the pivot ball stud, it affects the way that this clutch fork will swing. If you look at the way it swings, it's almost like a door. So at one point, it will no longer be pushing that throwout bearing straight. It will start to bind up. So on the clutch fork, we basically put putty on the back side of it, saw where it would contact, and then that's where we were going to cut it out. There were some factory cutouts already that it looks like they had done on the Magnum for this issue.
Note where it appears that they have notched it from the factory for that clutch fork here and here.
But sometimes it just needs a little bit more, and again, you can mess around with the pivot ball stud more maybe to make this work. This was a pretty easy way too, just to hit it everywhere it was notching, and once you notch it in one place, it's going to hit the transmission in another on that webbing, so we did have to kind of mess with it. But as you can see, this is how it came out, and it gave us a few more millimeters of clearance, which is all that we really needed. Next, let's talk about the shifter, the stock one that comes with the T56 Magnum, and why you might want to upgrade it now while it's off the car.
T56 Magnum. The only problem with these is you pull this boot off. It's a little different on this shifter. If you look down in there, it's wide open and fluid gets past that, transmission fluid, as it's getting slung around, and so it leaks. When you look at some of these really nice like MGW aftermarket shifters, that's just not going to happen. So as long as it's sealed down here, you're fine. And you know, when you hear about a lot of leaks from the Magnum, it looks pretty well sealed from the factory. I think they do a good job on that. I think it's really leaking out of the shifter handle. And, you know, then it works its way down and people think that there's other problems. You'll notice on the stock T56 Magnum shifter here, top boot removed, and you can see through other than just the other boot that's on the bottom. But when you go to throw it into gear like this, like second, you can feel that metal right there from the bottom, just pushing on that boot. So it's no wonder, you know, the same thing from this side, you feel that metal. As you're shifting gears, no wonder it's gonna pinch through and pop this boot. If that's the only thing that's keeping fluid from coming in. All right, here's the Buller transmission shifter, NightStick as it's called. Just gonna replace this. It's a shame that looks really good, but it can leak up through the handles. So this is supposed to mitigate that, keep fluid from coming up past here. With those front bolts being hard to access once it's in the car, you know, you kind of want to take care of this now rather than later. So that's why I went with it. It was pretty pricey, $450 shipped for a shifter. You know, good old days of buying a $200 MGW is over, I guess, for Magnum stuff. There was some other ones too, White Lightning and some of the others, but anyway, this is the one that I think would do the best job.
So it was a little disappointing to have to spend the money on it. This is a really nice shifter. It is a little more firm than I thought. Being the other shifter basically isn't anything but a lever, it makes sense that this ball and cup one actually has some more resistance to it. So I was kind of looking forward to that smooth is better thing, but it is a little tighter of a shift. Now, with the transmission crossmember dropped, there is room to get to those bolts, but it would be difficult to seal all that back up with silicone and everything, so it's definitely something you want to take care of now. But something else to mention, there are concerns about clearance there when the transmission's up, and it is pretty tight. I could barely fit my finger kind of between it, so you might get some self-clearancing take place. I might hear some noise, but I don't think it's worth cutting the strip out that I've seen other people do or anything. Just kind of let it self-clearance is my thought. So you will need to also buy a shift handle. I just went with the Steeda Triax. It was 40 or something bucks. And then the hardware too is the 3/8 inch by 24 pitch by, I think I went with a 1.5 inch in the very end so that I could put it through and tighten it down and put a nut and a crush washer, lock washer on the other side just to keep it all firm. So I have it nice and tight, but it definitely needed a little bit of work. So the next thing is the stock transmission mount from the T56. Will it fit with the Magnum? It's pretty close. You could probably slot some things and make it work. But I think it's better to go to an aftermarket one. So stock transmission mount on the T56 Magnum 0304 Cobra. It looks pretty close. You could probably make it work. You might have to slot these out a little bit. But I have the Stifflers one that I got anyway. But just the bolt does line up. It didn't like to thread, so I didn't push it, but. So the transmission mount, really, I think it's worth the money. Just put the Stifflers on there. It's going to fit. It's adjustable. And it had a good ride to it. I didn't have any complaints. But it's another one of those things, though, that is an extra cost. You really want to do it. I'm liking the idea of keeping my stock transmission mount, keeping my stock drive shaft, keeping a lot of the stock Cobra parts that are specific to it. So anyway, check the video description as well. I have the install on this one. So just a little FYI with these, I've heard a lot of complaints about fourth gear, low RPM, getting some really bad, almost like clutch chatter. This one definitely does that. I've seen other people say the same. They were saying it's the twin disc clutch. I'm not sure. Maybe it is, and that's why you're getting kind of that chatter feel. So I just, would keep it over 2004 and it's fine. But just a little, FYI, it is a synchronized transmission. It's really nice for what it is, but it might make some noise. It is built to handle more power than be a perfect, smooth, quiet transmission. But I didn't notice any huge noises, but I just wanted to throw that out there as well.
Yeah, that's pretty smooth.
all in all, plan to spend some good coin on this, over $7,000. It's not just the transmission, it's a lot of the other pieces and parts. And so anyway, I've made individual videos on all these things with more in-depth information for each one. This was just kind of an overview, so hopefully you enjoyed it. Please check the video description and hit me up in the comments if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.